I'm not going to talk about it any more than that. Just answer this question. Why do people hate Googan? Look, you're smiling from ear to ear, man. I love it.
I am. I don't think I've ever actually answered this publicly.
Gotta get comfortable here. I'm fucking uncomfortable as shit.
These chairs are dope.
Holly hit us with the switch.
Right. I feel like I'm sitting on nails.
So I'm good, right? I sound really quiet in my own headphones.
You're fine.
I'm good?
You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Welcome back to another episode of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Fishing After Dark with you boy, LOJO and AO. Had a great name suggestion, by the way, the other day. I don't know if we're going to be able to use it, but somebody commented the beard and the badge.
Oh, snap.
Which is amazing. So maybe there's a way we could like tie it into like the whole Fishing After Dark thing.
Dude, I
loved it.
That really hits hard. The beard and the badge.
Of all the, name suggestions, because there's been some like, I mean, I appreciate the effort, but there's been some not so great name suggestions for this podcast, but the beard and the badge. So maybe like Fishing After Dark featuring the beard and the badge. You know what I mean?
Right.
Pretty
right.
dope. So
We'll
whoever made that,
adding.
we'll just make the name of the podcast just so long that nobody can ever say it. But welcome back to another episode of Fishing After Dark, and we have a very special guest coming up here in a few minutes, as you guys know by the title. Got Mr. Rob Turla, LunkersTV.
You?
First guest ever on the podcast, the first of many guests. But we put it out there in the last couple podcasts. Who do you guys want to see? We got a ton of suggestions, but he was one of the top suggested people. So I'm very excited to bring him on and talk about a lot of things, not just our main topic, but we're going to dive into a bunch of stuff with him. We're going to talk about his military experience. We're going to talk about his divorce. We're going to talk about how he's doing, his content, and then we're going to talk about the main subject, which I'm interested to hear your perspective, because I've been in the Googan Squad for a year now, for an entire year. I've been working with the guys for going on 3 years now, or maybe even 4, with Googan baits and stuff. We go way back. So today's topic, as you guys can see, is pretty simple. Why do people hate? I'm not even going to say hate the Googan Squad. I'm going to say, why do people hate Googan? Because it's not just the squad. You know what I mean? Like in recent weeks, since we started this podcast, we've been noticing, there's some feathers getting ruffled out there. There's some people getting upset, or just, I guess, their feathers are getting ruffled. It's not you guys. 99.9% of you guys are loving this stuff, but there are some people, fans and creators, who are getting their feathers ruffled. But you know what? This is our podcast, man. We're going to talk about whatever we want to talk about, whoever we want to talk about, and that's just the way it's going to be. So no apologies coming from this way,
It's the only way we do it.
If we hurt your feelings, I kind of apologize, but at the same time, it's like, come on. We're not taking any personal shots at anybody. We're not speaking out of line here.
We're the freaking beard and the badge, man.
We're the beard and the badge.
What else are we going to do?
Exactly. We're going to speak the truth, and, we're going to talk about our perspective, because that's what people want to hear. That's what we've been told people want to hear. So let me just kick it to you. Let's just, before we bring on Rob, because I know he's got some very strong opinions about this, probably the strongest opinions of anybody in the Googan Squad, so I cannot wait to lob this question up to him and see what he thinks. But because I don't think people necessarily hate the Googan Squad, right? I don't think people hate the squad, like the members of the squad. I think each member has a lot of fans.
100%.
But it seems like Googan, like the term Googan, the products, the baits, it seems like people have a huge problem with that word. Why? Why?
I don't know, man. I feel like it's one of those things that's everywhere you turn now, because, I mean, they have that merch, join the takeover, that phrase.
We have the merch.
Oh, snap, we do. Crap.
You too, you're a Googan affiliate. But anyways, continue.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. And I feel like some of that saltiness might be coming from, dude, these guys are everywhere. Which at the same time is just like, we had the same conversation about Alabama winning the national championship.
True. Very, very solid comparison.
Like, everybody's like, I freaking hate Alabama.
Another national championship.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
The same thing with Googan. They're just whipping tail, just smacking
just killing
cheeks.
the game. So you're kind of coming at it from the jealousy perspective. Like it's kind of it's all rooted, well, not all of it. Some of it's rooted in jealousy.
Maybe so. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I can't.
Well,
speak for
what other
people.
feeling could you get? Like if you're seeing Googan products everywhere and they're taking over, that's got to be some type of, or maybe not jealousy. Maybe it's not. I mean, maybe these other companies are jealous and salty, but from a fan perspective, like why would your average Joe, somebody who watches YouTube fishing videos, why would they hate Googan?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's just hard for me to wrap my mind around. And we're not talking to you guys. There's so many of you guys are so supportive, but we're talking about like for the 30 or 40 people that thumb down these videos. You know what I mean? Like why do they hate? What is it about Googan specifically? If you could sit these people down in a room and get them to talk, what would it be? What would they be able to point to? Because there's so many likable figures that are involved in this, like Rackley, Lake Fork guy. Who hates Lake Fork guy? Honestly,
I don't know.
like. I mean, I don't get it, man. Who hates John B?
I don't know.
John B's an OG YouTube fisherman. Like, how could you possibly not like him?
And why when a YouTuber joins the Googan Squad do they become a sellout? You know what I mean? Like if you were to transfer to another bait company, say you went from Googan Baits, you shut them down, you went to 6 Cents or something like that, you wouldn't be a sellout. But since you joined the Googan Squad, a lot of people have referred to you as a sellout.
Right.
But
I don't get it.
It's just a company. It's just a brand.
It's just a company.
Yeah.
And especially in my case, it didn't make sense for people to call me a sellout because I've been working with them for multiple years on the Googan Baits front before I ever joined the squad. But yeah, man, why is it? Why is wanting to be on the winning team being a sellout? You know what I mean?
I don't get it, but
I don't
to
get
each
it
his
either.
own.
Yeah, to each his own. I mean, hey, I respect your opinion. If you don't like us right now sitting here watching this podcast, I mean, I understand. I'm not mad at you for your opinion, but I would like somebody to explain it to me. That's the thing. I want, because I don't understand it, so I need somebody to explain it to me.
Yeah, drop some comments if you guys have some ideas.
If you're one of the people that doesn't like Googan, don't be afraid to comment. I mean, let's just open the floor up for a debate, or not even a debate, just like a free exchange of ideas. You know, why do you not like Googan? What is it about Googan? Or maybe there is a Googan Squad member that turns you off. I don't know. Hell, maybe I'm turning everybody off. Maybe that's what it is. The beard and the badge is just pissing people off.
Too much badge, man.
Apparently we are ticking some people off, but yeah. Okay, well, we've talked enough about this. I really want to get what I consider an expert opinion on hate, because this guy's been there since day one, and he's going to know a thing or two about this subject. So let's get old Rob Turla on the line here. Robert Turla, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm good. I'm here for you.
Yeah? Well, I got to tell you, man, I'm loving the haircut and the NFG hoodie that you got, man. You
Oh, I fucking appreciate it.
you sent me a bunch of that NFG stuff, and I got to tell you, man, it's dope, man. I love it. Like I have all the ones like the sniper rifle, the pistol, the AR, and it's like I don't know which one to wear. I'm just like you're just grabbing one, walking out the door. I don't know which one to wear. It's like, what mood am I in? You know, do I just want to blast a bunch of people, or I just want to, you know, keep it simple?
Who the fuck you want to make it mad?
Yeah, exactly. I know, right? Well, you would think so, but how's everything going, man? You good?
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
I love life.
that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Are you still on the old keto diet, plugging away?
Well, last night I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Oh.
30 a night.
Bro, bread? You can't have bread.
I know. I've been struggling the last like 4 days.
Well, it happens, man. You've been killing it though, dude. You were freaking ripped. Well, you probably still are. You were ripped, bro. Like the keto thing must really work.
It fucking works. It sucks a massive donkey, but I mean it do work.
Yeah. Yeah, I've tried it a few times, and man, you never know how much you miss carbs until you actually just ditch them, like for real, and then you're like, oh yeah, this sucks. Funny story, Badge. I went to visit old Rob this summer, you know, and I spent 3 days at his house. I mean, he was great, very accommodating, and then one night I go in the old pantry, you know, to see what's up, because I'm a big boy, you know, I like to eat, and there was beef jerky, pork rinds, and about 100 jugs of Bomar Nutrition protein. I was like, shh, there's no snacks in this man's house. Dude, that's when I knew you were in it, man. You were definitely in it to win it back then. You were going hard. Do you remember that weekend or that week?
I'll be back to being ripped here in the next couple of months.
I have no doubt, man. You're the kind of guy that you can do it, man. You have the self-discipline to be able to do it. What you got in the old cup tonight? Let's compare cups. What do you got?
Ginger ale.
Ginger ale, damn it. I thought it was going to be like bourbon or something cool. That's okay. Yes, take it to the head, baby. Pound it. I got a little Makers and Mountain Dew. Kind of an odd combo, but, you know.
Yeah, weird.
Well, Diet Mountain Dew. Diet Dew. Still not sponsored by Diet Dew, by the way. We're waiting for that phone call, but it may never happen. Yeah, man. So, one thing, and I know a ton of people know this about you. Some people may not know it about me, but, we both were in the military. I mean, how long were you in, by the way? 8 years? 7 years? 7. I was in for 6. Yeah, I was in for 6, and we were both infantry, although you went kind of a different route. You went to, how long were you in before you became like an actual sniper?
3 years.
3 years. Yeah. And it's just kind of wild, man, because we don't only just share the military experience, but actually one of our combat deployments actually came really close. Me and you've talked about it before. I mean, there was a period, I think in like 2010, where me and you were in the exact same province in Afghanistan, which is pretty crazy when you think about all the places that we could have been. But like we actually could have crossed paths. I mean, I don't think we did. I don't think we ever met, but we very well could have been like, you could have been getting off of a bird and I could have been getting on one, or vice versa, And
I got off in birds all the time.
You got off in birds? I love birds, dude. Birds were the best, man, weren't they? Jesus.
Yeah.
When you're out on a mission for 3 or 4 days and you see a bird coming, I mean, that's about the best news you can get. That means it's time to go home, at least for a little while. But, I mean, talk to us about your military experience just a little bit. I know you've done it in vlogs before, so you don't have to get into super detail, but kind of like how has that like shaped you as far as your YouTube career? Like how has that kind of, turned you into a guy that just, like refuses to lose?
Yeah, it's pretty much what it did. I think it gave me the ability to work harder than the average person, I guess you would say. At the very beginning. I mean, nowadays I don't work nearly as hard as I was, like daily video wise. I did 7 videos a week for, I don't even know, 2 years almost.
You did. I remember that. You were kind of one of the first fishing guys to do like daily vlogs. It was crazy. You were on the grind, man.
Yeah, I think I was the first one to integrate anything outside of a lake or a pond. No one else was integrating. I remember I was getting a lot of shit for having I was making toast. I remember getting a lot of shit in that video. It was one of my first videos I branched out. Like, I remember somebody commenting, "Why do we want to watch this guy make toast, just fish?"
Damn.
6 years later, I'm still making toast on camera.
That's how you teach the haters, man. You just take what they don't want to see and just serve it to them. I'm glad you said that though, like about branching out, because you really did, man. Like, and you've inspired people like me. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but like you started off as a fishing YouTuber, you know what I mean? But you took your own personal experiences and your personality, like, love of guns, military stuff, shooting, and you kind of like your content now is so diverse. You know what I mean? Like you don't fish as much, but a lot of people don't even mind. It's like you're doing all kinds of crazy, gun videos, challenges, like I just said, shooting stuff. So do you think that, like, what took so long for that transition on YouTube? Like, was it just because fishing was kind of your home and you were comfortable there, or did you want to do that kind of crossover stuff this whole time, but you just were kind of worried that it wasn't going to work,
I was getting burned out on fishing after about a year and a half, because felt like I was being forced to fish every day. As many people probably think that fishing is like the greatest thing on planet Earth, but do it 500 days straight when it's pissing rain or when it's windy as hell, and you still have to make a video and be in a good mood. You're like, man, this sucks.
Me and Andrew feel you completely, because we were out on the lake this morning for about 4 or 5 hours, and it was 40 degrees. It was windy. We caught 2 fish. I mean, it was rough, man. But it's like you said,
because you have Mother Nature going against you, and you're trying to make a video to generate revenue to put food on the table. So it like adds a lot of people don't think there's like always an added stressor to fishing, especially when you get to like a larger level, because then every single fishing video I make, it's like 175 to 200,000 people are going to watch me either fail or succeed, and it's every day. But now there's no big deal to it. I don't give a shit. As you know, I don't.
Right.
That doesn't bother me.
NFG, right?
Man, I mean, I was so worried about it. I got to make fishing videos. I got to sit out here 12 hours a day.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm firmly like in the grind that you've left behind, so I'll take over that role for you and fish even when I don't want to. Although I'm trying to expand out a little bit too on my channel, but we'll see how that goes. But so the whole NFG thing, right? Like you just said it, like you kind of got to a point where it was just like, you know what, I'm not worried about this anymore. Was that just kind of your overall attitude in life that kind of got transformed into an actual brand with this whole NFG merch?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. A lot of it had to do with the fact that Googan is such a clean brand,
Right?
and I'm kind of like 2 or 3 day old dirty underwear. Is what I am.
A dirty boy.
I mean, that's just the truth. And then, so a lot of the stuff that I wanted to do, we weren't able to do through Googan. So I said, you know what? Let's create a separate brand, and I'll just go to tackle it myself.
Well, dude, I mean, I love it. I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but I'm sure that it has really been popular with everybody. But of all the merch I've ever gotten, and I love a lot of the merch that I have. I have a closet full of merch that I love, but the NFG stuff, some of that stuff is like the best stuff I've ever had. The jacket, the big like brown, the Carhartt looking jacket, dude, that thing like is impossible to get cold in. Like me and you both needed one today. Like you put it on, you're not going to get cold. It's incredible. I love, how you integrate the American flag into everything. That's something that means a lot to me as it does to you. But yeah, man, that merch drop, probably the coolest one to date. So I hope you keep, are there future plans for, more drops for NFG? I'm sure there are, but is there anything we can look forward to soon?
Do this hat.
Uh-oh. Dude, I need one of those, man. Oh, dude, I need that. My adventure hat is screwed up. I need a new adventure hat, man. Dude, please send me one of those as soon as you can. Damn. When is the next NFG drop, man? When can we be looking for that?
A couple weeks.
Couple weeks. Sweet.
Couple weeks, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's dive right into some of the more. Well, it's not exactly. You might enjoy talking about this stuff. I'm not sure, but first of all, you kind of went through this last year. The thing about being a YouTuber is like our lives, even though we still do have a private life, a lot of our life kind of takes place and happens in the public eye. There's really no way to avoid that. That's just kind of the life we've chosen. But you have gone through this last year a pretty public divorce, you know what I mean, with your wife of however many years. And I don't want you to talk about that because I'm sure you've rehashed it a million times and, you can address it on your own. But I've been through a divorce myself, and there's no way to go through a divorce in a pleasant, easy manner. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't exist. So I guess my question would be like, how are you now? Like, are you in a better place now than you were then? I mean, obviously it probably feels better to be done with that, but are you good? Is everything good with that situation?
Oh, it's great. I love my spot I'm in.
Yeah.
She's a fine person. There's nothing wrong with her, but I love the spot that I'm in. I got divorced and kind of like, what did I do? I ended up, now I got 900 acres. I just bought another house. I kind of just do whatever I want.
Right.
I don't really have anything holding me back. I want to go do something. I'm like, you know what? As long as I don't have Avery.
Right.
I just go do it. I don't really have anything going on. Like I'm going to Florida on Monday. I'm basically going to live in Florida for like a month and a half.
What, for the spawn or what?
What's that?
For the spawn? Are you going to be there like to try to catch some pre-spawn fish or what?
Yeah, I'll be there pretty much until mid-March. I'll be living in Florida. I don't know where, but I'll be in Florida.
Well, hey, man, Florida's not far away from where I live, man, so make sure you come on through if you can. But
what you need to do is pick up and move out of that place.
Dude, tell me about it, man. Except I just bought like some acreage of my own, man. I'm out here I'm wearing my lumberjack. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, man. Yeah, I need to move closer to a public airport and probably a lake that's worth a damn to fish. But we'll work on that as time goes on. But final question, man, and I want you to go to town with this if you're up for it. So the kind of the theme of today's video that me and Andrew have been talking about is why people quote unquote hate Googan. And I didn't want to say the Googan Squad because I think that each member of the Googan Squad has a pretty large following. But it just seems like the word Googan, when you attach it to like a product or a project or a video, it just automatically gets a certain amount of hate from people. So I'm not going to talk about it any more than that. Just answer this question. Why do people hate Googan? Look, you're smiling from ear to ear, man. I love it.
I am. I don't think I've ever actually answered this publicly, but I've answered it at least 100 times. from just people within.
Yeah.
I know I've answered this question a lot. People hate Googan. Yes, they do. And I always think it's always the minority is the loudest group.
Right.
I don't mean skin color or race or anything like that. I'm just talking about the haters are actually, it's a very small group. We've done so many studies, literally through Facebook, on groups of people that hate Googan, people that like Googan, who has heard of Googan. What are your thoughts on the name? What are your thoughts on the brand? Do you like the colors? Like, we've done all the testing you could possibly imagine. And it's a very small group of people that actually hates Googan, like actually physically hates Googan. Like, doesn't matter what the product is and how good it is, they're going to say, fuck them, they suck, their product sucks. They copy, that's the same color as this crankbait, that's the same fucking hooks on those crankbaits. You know what I mean? It's the same every time. And I see the comments and I was like, you're just goofy as shit. You have nothing else. Go get out of your mom's basement. Go suck in some nice, just fresh air and just shut the down.
Right.
Like, life is good. It's going to be okay, you know? And I just had to come to the realization that people are going to hate. And the loudest is always the minority group of people is the haters. But for the most part, I mean, when you can branch on either side of the industry. You can go to the tournament side, and 2 years ago, they fucking hated us so much.
No doubt.
Like, hated us. And I think it has to do with the fact that they want to say that we didn't earn our way or earn our keep inside this industry. But the fact of the matter is, they just didn't understand.
Right.
Look back 2 years ago, not a single tournament guy, other than maybe Scott Martin or Brandon Polnick. And granted, I am friends with a lot of tournament guys. I really actually am. There are a lot of good guys like Brian Latimer, Mark Daniels, that entire group, Jacob Wheeler, Dustin Connell, like Brandon Polnick, of course Scott. But I mean, there's a great group of people. John Cox. But the other 99% of them, they fucking hated us because they think we didn't earn our way. When in fact we actually did. We all grew the largest social media following in the entire world. Yeah. Not just in the entire bass fishing industry, but you look at the fucking outdoor industry, Googan is the largest in the fucking world. Yep. You know what I mean? And that is something to say. I mean, it is kind of a big deal. But yeah, we didn't come up through the ranks of tournament fishing, so it pissed off a lot of people. They didn't think we should be here. We even earned our keep. But it's ironic. You look back 2 years ago, none of them, zero, had YouTube channels. I was doing some what I call like my market research, I guess, 2 days ago, and I was having a conversation with Matt Kendrick, and I was like, it's kind of ironic. 2 or 3 years ago, not a single one of them had a YouTube channel. Now they all have them, and they're making almost fucking daily videos. Right. Why is that? Yep. Is it because it's coming from the top down? Their sponsors are forcing them to make content because now they're seeing the power of social media marketing. It's just, I mean, I can go on for days on why these companies, and it's not really, it's, God dang, you can talk about the companies that hate Googan. I can go on for.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of people. I think
I feel like I kind of touched it a little bit there.
I think you're right. I mean, I think the main thing was like people just didn't think that you guys earned it, and whatever like quote unquote earning it even means, like you weren't a tournament angler who struggled to make ends meet for 10 years, so you didn't earn it. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. You know, I mean, like you said, they didn't get it. It wasn't even probably their fault. They just didn't get it. But now they definitely get it now, like you said, because now everybody's got a YouTube channel. Everybody's trying to pound on Instagram and grow their social media following because we all know that's where this whole thing is going. I mean, if you don't have a social media following, then you're probably not going to make waves in the fishing industry anymore.
What's your marketing value to that company? That's the question. And the thing is the ebb and flow of marketing itself. This is another thing that I don't think people realize, like how much thought I put into just about anything that has to do with Googan related stuff. Like if you think about it, the amount of marketing, the ebb and flow, and the changes that have came about in the entire industry when it comes to how to market a product over the last even 12 months with COVID. Big box stores is not the number one selling avenue for a product these days. It's all social media marketing because everybody to stay home. So with that being said, that's why a lot of these guys are having to change their approach on how they deal with sponsors. I bet you right now there's probably 50 to 75,000 people that have heard this thing right now. They're probably wondering, how do I make a living on YouTube, or how do I make a living in the fishing industry? It's always the same. And I'm always like, you need to control something when it comes to social media marketing. What are you doing differently? I can go on here and I can type in Lake Toho or Lake Kissimmee. I've been looking at those lakes, bass fishing. In every YouTube channel, and every video is the exact same. It's a fishing montage. They don't tell a fucking story, and that's what everybody within the Googan Squad has done so well, and we've learned how to do, is how to tell a story.
Yep. You're absolutely right, man. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I know it's frustrating.
Rambled a little.
No, you're good. I can hear the frustration in your voice. The good thing about like me is because I came up I'm kind of like newer, you could say, new to the fishing industry. Like I was just making my channel when you guys were forming the squad. So I didn't come into the fishing industry with like all these, old school alliances and like, oh, you shouldn't do social media, you should do tournaments. Like I came straight into the social media, way. So to me, it just seems odd that so many people hated the way you guys came up. But I can speak from personal experience, just watching you guys with Googan baits and the rods most specifically, because now I'm in some of these calls. And it's like, you guys have put in so much work trying to make these products right, trying to make them quality. Like you said, market research, trying to hit the right demographics. And it's like the work you guys put in, and now myself, I can include myself in that, is just, it's staggering how much work is put in. It's not like an easy ride that you guys are just, chilling, putting out products and collecting your check. Like that's not what's going on. But, which we could, exactly.
Slap our name on anything.
Exactly.
Literally fucking anything and charge a premium, and it could be a shit product.
Right. But yet we're putting out Googan green rods that are $99 rods, which are affordable rods, and they're freaking good. Me and Andrew were talking about how good the green rods are. I mean, we've been putting them bastards to the test, and I haven't broke one green rod. It's just crazy. But I think you hit on it, man. It's just me and Andrew were talking earlier. I don't know if it's jealousy. It's probably a little jealousy. It's probably a little bit of misunderstanding. Like people just don't understand what we're doing here and how we got here. It just blows people's minds that a huge YouTube following can translate into making products, selling products, developing new products. It's just like people just don't think you should be able to do that. So I think it's just confusing to a lot of people,
I was on the phone with Gary two days ago. I'm actually going to Gary's house tomorrow, Gary on LOJO. And I was on the phone with him 2 days ago, and we were talking about the impact that YouTubers have had on the fishing industry as a whole. He said that when we came in over the last 2 years, they've never seen this. This is from Gary Yamamoto, not just some random dude. He said that he has never seen that amount of growth in a short period of time. and he attributes it to all YouTubers.
Wow.
We were having a conversation about with YouTubers. He attributes it, the growth in the fishing industry was solely on the backbone of YouTubers.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
Yamamoto himself.
Right.
It's not some random dude on the street. He's attributing all the generated new sales. I mean, you got to realize I can't give you the actual number, but I think it's like 17 million new just last year. New people got fishing licenses.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's right.
When they get fishing license to learn how to fish.
Yep. I've heard some of those same numbers, and it's
magazine,
dude.
It's wild to hear this.
And it's crazy because I think, you guys in the Googan Squad, I think we all thought that we hit the peak of new growth to the bass fishing industry the last few years, but we actually haven't even hit it yet. Like we're still, I was talking to a guy the other day about the numbers, like you just said, and this year, 2020, now maybe the pandemic kind of had something to do with that too, because people were just kind of going outside and doing stuff because they didn't have anything else to do, but the fishing industry exploded in 2020. So like we thought we had maybe hit the ceiling in 2018, 2019, but we really even haven't yet. And that's kind of the scary part about all this. Not scary, it's scary in a good way, but the growth is crazy. And Gary Yamamoto is completely right. I mean, we all know it. Me and you know it. Andrew knows it. Like the YouTube industry, it has made so many businesses. It's made so many people money. It's convinced so many people to pick up a rod and go outside and make a cast and catch their PB.
You know what's something you haven't even touched on is how many, just by us creating Googan and think about through YouTube and social media, how many jobs we have created.
100%. Absolutely.
Like, what's that?
That's a great point. Great point.
Like a year ago, we had 20 people working, maybe for us up in Oklahoma City. Now we have 75, and we're hiring another 25. By year's end, we'll probably have 125 to 150 employees.
Wow. Yeah.
Those are just jobs that were created out of thin air social media.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just one company in one city. Like, there's no telling. There are probably thousands, if not tens of thousands of jobs, you know, maybe not directly from YouTube, but just all birthed from the fishing explosion of the last 3 years, which is directly tied to YouTube fishermen like you and like the original Googans and myself and anybody who's come through and made an impact. But yeah, man, it's crazy. I mean, it's going to be one of those things. I'm sure you would agree. There's always going to be haters. There's really nothing we can do about that. And you and I are not really too concerned about the haters per se. It's just kind of fun to talk about every now and again, because it's kind of hard to wrap my mind around why people hate people who are succeeding. But I think that's just the way of the world. You know, there's nothing you can do about those people. You just, you know, you deal with them. You see the negative comments. You see a couple thumbs down on a video, and you're just like, well, okay, whatever. On to the next video. You know what I mean? Like, let's wake up tomorrow, do the same thing, or do something different, do something fun. And I mean, it's going to be okay, man. I mean, but dude, that was awesome, man. Thank you so much, dude. That was freaking awesome. I think, I don't know if we've gotten to the bottom of the problem, but we've definitely addressed some of the issues, maybe where these problems are stemming from. But I don't know if we'll ever get an answer on this. And I can only imagine that the more Googan grows and the more we grow and the more new products we come out with, the hate's going to be there. It's going to continue to be there. But you know what? Fuck them.
Yeah, whatever, who cares?
Exactly.
Let's keep moving on.
Exactly, man. Well, dude, thank you so much for joining us, brother. I love you, man. Hopefully I can see you at some point while you're in Florida. And you're going to be down there in Kissimmee and Toho. And we've actually been talking about St. John's River and stuff and kind of trying to hit some of that.
I'll be going to Seminole as well at the end of in March.
Oh, dude, you'll be an hour away from me when you're at Seminole. So we'll try to link up and maybe do something. And but yeah, man, it's been too long. I hadn't seen you. Well, I saw you last Googan week. You were, right? Yeah. You were there. Okay. Yeah, man. Well, we'll be seeing you soon. I appreciate your time, brother. And I love you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
See you, man.
See you, buddy. Well, there you have it. I'm not sure how you guys, if you guys even saw Rob. We had it on FaceTime, but we're having some technical issues because I do live out in the middle of the woods, and service is not exactly something that we have on.
Nice. That was well said. I like that.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys heard Rob, and that's all the important part. We are working out the bugs of this podcast. It's just like a new thing, you know, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out, but I'm sure you guys heard him at least, maybe saw him as well. But yeah, that was some interesting insight from old Rob. I love Rob because he's going to tell you the truth. Like, he doesn't have a lying bone in his body. He's not going to sit there and lie about anything.
Yeah.
So what were your takeaways? I know we didn't really bring Andrew in because he's never met Rob, so we just felt like it was.
Y'all are running like 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And Rob seems like the type of guy that's just chilling. And once he gets going, he's like.
Exactly.
Like, because there was times where he was even like, he couldn't stop when you were talking and there was like not an ounce. Y'all crushed it though. That was magical.
That's because I love Rob, and me and him are really comfortable talking to each other.
Yeah.
So it's like we could have just talked for an hour, you know,
I just
about
felt
whatever.
like, I just wanted to let the moment be magical, let you guys stare into each other's eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Work through that beautiful thing.
Yeah, exactly. We did. You'll be meeting him really soon, so that's all good. But so Rob's opinion was kind of that of people just didn't really understand YouTubers, basically. Which I would agree with that 100%. Like 4 years ago, YouTube fishermen, what was that? Like, that was who does that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, now it's normal. Like, now it's like, that's how we make our money. That's our job. But 4 years ago, that was a different world.
Still weird.
It was a tournament world. Well, yeah, it's still weird, but I'm saying it's a little bit more commonplace now.
Right.
Whereas back then, they were having to compete with tournament anglers to try to get attention, try to talk to companies, and
I still don't think people fully understand what we do, how we make money, why we make money. But
how do we make money?
I don't know. Oh my gosh.
Damn miracle that we even do make money, that we can put food on the table.
I don't know how we do, especially with our videos.
Yeah, I know, right? Our videos suck. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's been a long day. We've been filming some good videos. We got some good videos coming though on this channel. But yeah, big shout out to Rob for joining us, old LunkersTV. Make sure you guys check out his channel if you've never seen his channel before. It's LunkersTV, and he does a lot of fishing stuff, but he does a lot of non-fishing stuff, which is what I love about his channel, is because he does military stuff, he does gun stuff, he does anything you could imagine. I really admire the fact that he does everything. Like, he doesn't just fish, you know? That's kind of what I'd hope my channel would be one day. But I do love fishing. I do love grinding it out. Me and you went out this morning and we sucked it up, and I loved it. I had a good time.
Yeah, it was fun. Almost sank twice.
We almost sank multiple times, but it was rough out there today. That was dangerous. That was stupid.
It was stupid.
But yeah, you haven't talked much this podcast because I realized that was kind of me interviewing Rob. But what do you give us a final thought here as far as like the topic today, which is Googan and hate and haters in general? Just give us a little final thought here on the way out the door as you just slam the table like we said we weren't going to do.
Right.
Anymore.
Yeah.
Just so fired up about it.
One thing that I think I realize the more that I work for you, the more that I hear these guys talk, I feel like there's a lot more that goes on behind the door, you know, behind what you see on YouTube. This guy's talking with frickin' Gary Yamamoto, and there's a lot of experiences with big, high corporate and
high corporate level contacts,
right, top people, and I don't know, man. There's just a lot going on that what haters see, they don't see the full picture. They don't see the grind. They don't see.
That's true.
Because everybody that's doing this bet on themselves, which is scary as crap.
Very tough to do. Most people would not do it.
Right. I'm gonna sacrifice a potential good job, 4-year degree on YouTube, and I don't know, man. It just
I'm with you.
Takes some guts.
It does, and me and you know how hard me and you work because we work together. So we work really freaking hard. You know. So that being said, being a YouTuber and a fisherman YouTuber, it's crazy. It's nuts that we can make money doing this, but we do, and it is what it is. I used to hate that expression. It is what it is, but sometimes it's very fitting. You know.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when you just have nothing else to say, it's like, well, hey, look, it is what it is, man.
It is.
It's a weird job, but hey, it exists, and we're doing it, and
That's right.
And we're doing it. We're doing it well. We think we're doing it well. We're trying to do it well. But so let us know how this podcast is going for you guys. If you guys are enjoying it, as always, hit the thumbs up button and get in the comment section. Let us know who you want to be on the show next, who the next guest needs to be. Got a whole list of people who can be on the show that I've talked to already. So I just need to know who you guys want to see. So that's why the comment section is so important. Make sure you check out this man's channel, Old AO'd Fishing, see what he's up to these days. You just got yourself a micro boat from your boy. And you've already been fishing on it. You've already caught your first Sally off of it.
Yeah, so whacked a fatty.
That's awesome. You've already fixed it, out fishing. So guys, make sure you check him out. Also, make sure you subscribe to this channel, the LOJO channel. Let's get to 1 million subscribers this year. Let's not frick around anymore. Let's do it. We're going to keep on doing the podcast, keep growing the podcast, keep making the podcast better. And we would appreciate any and all suggestions to help us do so. But if you've got nothing else, I've got nothing else. Let's sign out. Thank you guys for watching. Love you. We out.